Bienvenidos amigos de Test Drive, estamos en la casa central de Volkswagen porque hoy vamos a charlar con el vicepresidente de ventas y marketing para la región. El señor Hendrik acaba de llegar de Brasil, es un alemán que está viviendo en Brasil hace unos 6 meses y está hoy en Paraguay porque aprovechamos lo que es cada Motor Show para poder charlar y ver de primera mano lo que se viene para Volkswagen en el 2025 y lo que resta de este año. Acompáñenme. Bueno, y antes de arrancar la entrevista, miremos algunos de los productos disponibles de este lado del showroom. Fíjense, por ejemplo, el Touareg, el producto estrella, creo yo, de lo que son los SUV grandes que tiene la marca. Ese de ahí es un tanque en todos los sentidos, en lo que es el tamaño, en lo que es la motorización. Es un motor V6. Después tenemos el Taos, otro de los productos interesantes, en este caso el 250 TSI. 250 siempre se refiere a lo que es el torque que nos entrega el producto. Tiguan es otro de los SUV con un tamaño un poco menor, sigue siendo bastante interesante en tamaño de lo que es el habitáculo del vehículo, pero yo creo que si tengo que elegir, éramos. Vamos a entrevistar, vamos a hablar con el señor Hendrik y después seguimos mirando algunos de los modelos. Y aprovechamos la visita para charlar con uno de los representantes más importantes que tenemos actualmente como visita. Gracias a cada Motor Show nos acompaña el señor Hendrik Mott, vicepresidente de ventas y marketing para lo que es la región Sudamérica. Mr. Hendrik, welcome to Test Drive. Thank you for the time.
Thanks for being here. Glad to be here.
Well, you're here in Paraguay for the Motor Show, I think. And what's other reasons you're visiting Paraguay in this occasion?
Yeah, so first of all, in my responsibility for South America, Paraguay is a key market, right in the heart of South America, so to say. And we have a very long and deep partnership with Diesa here, and a very successful partnership in there. And if we want to grow with Volkswagen South America, Paraguay is really symbolic for this one, because you have the SUV growth, you have the pickup market, and I think also as a German, I don't see Volkswagen only like as a German brand. It has so much history here in South America. It's like also a South American brand. So that's why, and for me, it's important to be where the market is, to understand this. That's why I'm very excited in my still young tenure here in South America to come first time now to Paraguay and Asunción.
And I saw in the motor show we had the ID Bus and the ID4 as shown cars.
Yes.
But what's the future of the brand in the new era with electric cars and stuff?
Yeah, so we want to follow, of course, also the demands and the trends of the customers. For one is this body styles, of course. Growing, the SUV segment is growing in Paraguay, many other markets also. That's why we're coming with a new Nivus, just the T-Cross. We will continue our offensive. Same as for the pickups, which have a very important role here. We just came with the new Amarok and are very glad how it's received. And then also in terms of electrified powertrains, for one is we think in terms of higher volume, really the hybridization is also coming. So hybrids, plug-in hybrids with a growing, depending how the infrastructure is in each market. That's why, as we announced earlier this year, really big investment also in our Brazilian plants, Argentinian plants, really also to produce next generation of cars with hybrid powertrains coming here for our best sellers. And then, as you mentioned, the ID4, ID Bus. So from a global, we have different developments in Europe, in China, in North America. Something like the ID Bus, who combines history and future we want to bring. And we see that now we're bringing it into step by step into the different market, also South America. We're starting now in Brazil, also in Chile before it's coming. And we're also committed to bring BEV into Paraguay, into the future soon. Not produced in South America, but these, because these are smaller volumes.
Yeah, of course.
Probably more for Asunción than area, because still of the infrastructure, but in a selective way. That's why we are investigating right now with DSR, our partner.
Well, we saw the Nivus yesterday, the launch here in Paraguay. First than most countries, and also Brazil, that is the producer of the car. What's the What's the thing behind that?
Yeah, so we are starting actually the start of sale in Brazil is tomorrow,
Yeah.
and then the event. That's why we're very excited also to be here.
Yeah.
2 days before in Asunción. We had, of course, an early world premiere earlier than also in Brazil. But we take all countries important. We want to mix that up, being it Paraguay, being it Uruguay, Chile, Colombia, Brazil, Argentina, of course. And that's why we're looking at different events of hosting them in different locations. And the same is, that's why we're very excited now to do this in Asunción here in Paraguay.
Yeah.
Launch very early the Nivus. But all of our product offensive, if we want to become even more successful in South America, we have to take all of our very important countries and symbolize Paraguay. That's why I'm glad also to be here personally and see that.
It's nice to have a premiere in the region. And what's the biggest difference between this Nivus and the older version?
Of course, a big upgrade. You see that visually already outside now with the light strip and the light strip in the front and the rear. Also with very good lighting in terms of the street, but you recognize it directly as a Volkswagen or as the new Nivus. Of course, it comes with new technology in terms of infotainment and also in terms of safety systems. The engines are upgraded and also new material. So it's really a further refinement and development of a successful car. It's an emotional car, no? It's an SUV coupe. That's why we looked also very much in terms of the design features, as you would see then on the street.
Well, talking about design and changes, a lot of people are making me questions about the new Amarok. What's the brand thinking about putting like a new face, but keeping all the mechanics inside? What's the approach for that in South America?
Yeah, so it differs also a little bit by segment and the platform that we have available. But you see, in terms of the modernity, also modern face, also the Amarok has a very new design, has that light characteristic that is perceived very well. But it's also very important, especially in the pickup segment, in this segment where the Amarok is, that has also a lot of course, use, being it farming, being on the street, industrial, that the key characteristics that make such a pickup strong are there. And also the Amarok, we believe, has a very strong USP of its DNA. Once you sit and drive in an Amarok, the drivetrain, the chassis, very firm with a very strong engine, especially the V6, which really differentiates and makes it stand out. And those unique Amarok DNAs, we also want to make sure they continue, and we refine that to a certain way. Now, that's why some of that is the number one importance. Really, the car has to drive like a Volkswagen, like an Amarok. Yes. Similar with some other cars, but in that segment, even more important than, for example, some of the other features. But believe me, both the Amarok and then also the Saveiro, we will continue to invest in those segments and come out also with successor of those two vehicles.
Well, talking about Saveiro, we remember and we really loved the Volkswagen Gol. What's the approach in taking that model off of the lineup and bringing the Polo Track?
Polo Track, for example, as an entry hatch. I mean, there are two trends in this one. First of all, it is also a trend by the customers that you see from those sedan, also small hatches. The trend goes into SUVs. That's why we were investing with the Nivus, with the T-Cross. And you probably saw our teaser announcement already in South America, in Brazil, about the Terra. Really also a smaller SUV then also coming in the segment to serve really the trend of the customers. Also, many of them saying, I've switched from a hatch into a smaller SUV or a crossover in the segment. With the goal, I'm now here 6 months in the region from the decision, is then also the terms of the technology and the platform. So that platform where the Gol was on needs to be then also firmly homologated. And there's a new then generation to coming in. And we also want, as Volkswagen, always a car that is that has the newest technology, also in terms of safety, that you and your loved ones saved in the car. and that generation came then with the Polo and the Polo track. So we're looking at that segment, what we can do, also special models. But this is kind of following the trend of our customers.
What's new for 2025 with Volkswagen?
Yeah, for one big highlight I just mentioned a little bit, the Volkswagen Terra also coming to Paraguay, a whole new SUV opening a whole new segment. We see there are lots of new potentials for new customers. And then similar as we did with the T-Cross and Nivus Amarok this year, we will also continue our offensive of refreshing our product portfolio. For example, with the new Terramont, one of our larger, of course, seven-seater SUV. Then also the Taos, or very important also on the global base, the Tiguan. So really investing in these SUVs. And then maybe be surprised of some of those smaller offensive that we are doing, but there's lots of product momentum also. So we see really a path for growth next year for Volkswagen also market, similar as we're growing this year.
Well, Mr. Hendrik, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, glad to be here.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Bueno, y así charlamos un poco, tratamos de sacarle toda la información posible. Ahora seguimos mirando un poco lo que es el showroom para seguir conociendo Volkswagen. Así que Volkswagen va a seguir invirtiendo en lo que son las nuevas generaciones, en lo que es la nueva generación de combustibles, como por ejemplo el sistema eléctrico, sistema flex, sistema híbrido, y que realmente se viene con muchas novedades para el 2025. Contame qué te pareció esta conversación y qué otra pregunta me faltó hacerle. Nos vemos.